you, my viewers. This is Shirley with Spirit of Matter. Um, can I say the voice of peace? Because it's very relevant, and I don't mean regional, I mean worldwide. So, this is it's actually a Mercury night about to turn into a Sunday, but now it's Mars hour. The ascendant is in Libra, ruled by Venus, that is in the 12th house. And the midheaven is ruled by the moon that is in the first and just released itself from the conjunction to Ketu and from the eclipse, that was the new moon, and is applying to approach Scorpio. So we have a few moments before the moon goes into Scorpio and conjuncts Mars there. Now, the topic of this episode is actually about a certain group of people that are going to be a part of the falling of structure that we're going to see. So there are a group of people born around 1989, particularly 1989, because then we had the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. Okay? And so Saturn and Neptune were conjuncting in Capricorn. Pluto was still in Scorpio. 14-degree Scorpio is sextiling this Saturn and Neptune. So Neptune-Saturn conjunctions, we know them from the history of Russia and the dissolution of big structures. Okay, the dissolution of the USSR, for example. And so structure is Saturn, hierarchical structure, Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn-Neptune is the dissolution of hierarchical structure. And so those people that were born around the 1989 are having their Saturn maturation time. Okay, for Saturn cycle, it moves, so it takes 28 years to surround the zodiac. Okay, so when you have a Saturn return, you have a maturation, you have the growth of Saturn, and that rules your structure in life, your responsibilities, but also your rest. Have you rested enough? You can become sick because you didn't rest, because you've been overworking as well, not just underworking. Okay, it rules therefore also your stress levels, your teeth, your skin, your hair, and thus also your heritage, your nails, and all that stuff, and bones. Neptune conjuncting Saturn is about very tender, prolonged dissolutions of old structures. Anything that's dogmatic, that's too hierarchical, is dissolving. And so the people that are going through the maturation of Saturn right now, where Saturn is not yet sextiling, but is applying to sextile your own Saturn. Is applying to sextile your own Saturn. So you're having the first Saturn sextile Saturn, you will be having the first Saturn sextile Saturn while you're having your Saturn maturation, which is facilitating something. And that means that Saturn is going to be in the sign associated modernly also with Neptune, with Jupiter, but also with Neptune, while you have Neptune conjuncting Saturn in its own sign, okay, and Neptune in Saturn's sign. So this is a very interesting reception that gives you the ability to understand what structures are dissolving. And for you, those structures have to do with any organization, any hierarchy associated with the caring for, okay, Saturn in Pisces, refugees. So how do we care for refugees? Okay, we talk about citizenship. That's dissolving. Medicine, that's now a bit of our enemy. Housing, okay, that's dissolving. Okay, so all of these structures are collapsing right now because people understand that the who, is not really useful and even hurtful, and even the reason behind this. And people understand that the housing solutions that have been offered are not genuinely housing solutions. And people understand that the nationalities, Iran, to Netherlands, they're going to have it in Netherlands. You run to United States, going to have it in the United States. Okay? It's a global crisis. So for those of you going through the Saturn maturation right now, it was born in 1989, you are maturing into the dissolution of the structure, and you could be, because of the role of Pluto in Scorpio, an agent in facilitating this maturation in various ways, shapes, and forms, depending on what you do and how you do it. Okay, you have Pluto in Scorpio, in the middle phase of Scorpio, and Saturn will be applying to trine your Pluto while sextiling your Saturn and Neptune. Okay, you're in a very good position to think clearly and make responsible decisions at the time of a dissolution of a structure. Okay. You're the agents of that change. This is what your Saturn maturation means for you. Now, as you're growing into this, you may find out that maybe if you are a refugee, if you are in a conflict zone, if you have a house and you think, oh, I can house a family because I'm not in a conflict zone, well, you're about to be. If you are doing, laws or medicine or whatnot, whatever you've been doing, you're around 34, 35 years old. Okay, you're going to be 35 when that happens. Okay, so around 35 is next year. When that happens, then you're going to see that the structures that you've been building, that you've been relying on, have been dissolving, like most of us are going to see. But unlike others, you do have the harmonious aspects to tap into what to do or how to dissolve, because we definitely need to dissolve structures like the hoop. Okay? You can have the inclination about how to structurally dissolve the hoop, how to structurally dissolve Agenda 2030. Okay, so that depth of insight is very much needed. And again, right now I'm in Israel. You can understand that at any given moment they can cut off the internet, they can do like many things. But for as long as I'm right now here, I'm open to give you any reading that you need, no charge at all. So if you're born in around 1989, no charge at all for a reading, because if I can facilitate and assist you in any way with my knowledge as an astrologer, we can contribute each other. That is one way to go. So you can contact me on Twitter. It's Strudel Talishir, TALISHWER. You DM me. Okay, I don't have the blue check. I'm not going to have the blue check. You DM me to ask for a reading, and I'm going to provide you for a reading for as long as I'm able to do so. No charge at all. It's not about charge. It's about if there's anything that I can assist you at this time of your growing into your Saturn maturation, then I'd be very, very happy to do so. And it can be about a personal reading, it can be anything, because it's all leading to these things. So